Welcome to the 2012 Nationwide Holiday Classic, coming to you from Lorain High School. What you're seeing now is the Parade of Champions. These are the wrestlers who, throughout 2 days of hard wrestling, have made the finals, are going to be wrestling for a placement between 1 through 6, and also 1 through 4 in the B bracket. I am Ewan Ralston, and with me today is Robert Taylor, both former wrestlers, and we're going to be helping you understand different moves in the match and just giving you some commentary throughout the night.
Ewan, how many times have you been in this situation where you've been in the finals and you got the feeling of what's going on right now as far as these guys lining up against each other, ready to go at it, mano a mano, and this huge crowd here today, just, you know, electrifying them. How do you feel about that?
Well, I definitely have my share of Parade Champions, as you have as well, and I'm sure you know this is probably what I miss the most about wrestling, is that intensity that you feel right before the finals, staring your opponent down, the crowd cheering for you. It's a great feeling to have. But as they get ready for the national anthem, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in a couple minutes, and we'll have your championship wrestling for you.
Did you know that right now there are 129,000 children in foster care waiting to be adopted? That's a lot of kids, but I'm sure there's enough love in America to help them out. The National Council for Adoption is helping kids find permanent families through a program called Families for All. What can you do? Go to familiesforall.org. You can make a difference in the life of a child.
It's America.
Welcome back to the 2012 Nationwide Holiday Classic, coming to you from Lorain High School Gymnasium. We're going to get things underway, and we're going to start at the 105-pound weight class. For the Titans, we're going to have Devin Edwards of Lorain, a freshman, who has gone undefeated this tournament and is now wrestling in the championship match. He's going to be wrestling on mat number 2. His opponent is going to be Vince Zitiello of Bay Area, who's also a freshman. So we got 2 young guys at this weight class who were able to beat out the competition and wrestle for the championship.
That's exciting. That's exciting, seeing the younger generation coming up as freshmen and making it into the championship finals like a turn as a, you know, I mean, this isn't a simple and easy tournament to get into and to finish in this position. So, you know, they're both in a great position to, you know, to win this championship and then propel themselves on to the next tournament or wrestling match. Being a champ here is a big thing.
It definitely is, and you have to wrestle. There's a lot of wrestling that goes on in this tournament. It being a 2-day tournament, and the first night just being pool play, you have to win your pool, and then you actually make the tournament the next day. So there's a lot of wrestling. It's not one tournament split into 2 days. It's actually technically almost 2 tournaments put into one.
Correct. Yeah, and whenever you can do that, it takes a lot of stamina. It takes a lot of hey, getting that guy in there and getting him out. You know, getting those pins and getting on to your next match. So
definitely
very impressive coming from these 2 freshmen. I kind of got, you know, like my hairs are sticking up on the back of my neck because, you know, this is where we did our things. You know,
yeah.
Being in the finals is just so exciting. So I can only imagine how these 2 guys feel today.
Definitely. And it's nice to have a representative from Lorain in front of the home crowd wrestling in the finals. I'm sure they not only may add a little pressure to him, but it also makes him wrestle even better, because we know that we wrestle our best when we're most nervous and most, you know, we want to rise to the occasion, which I'm sure Devin is going to do so tonight.
Well, one thing he does have on his side is he's got the home crowd advantage. Wrestling at your home school is always a benefit, you know, on your behalf. So, you know, let's see how he goes out and performs. You know, sometimes we get out here and we get, you know, a little nervous.
Yep.
So the big thing is to remain calm, to always be thinking, and to get out there and just do what you know how to do. Do what got you here in the first place, which is wrestling hard and being smart.
Alrighty, as the 2 wrestlers reach the center of the mat, we're going to get things underway. Devin Edwards of Lorain in the white singlet versus Zitiello of Bay Area in the blue singlet.
And Edwards goes right in there. I mean, he's taking control of the match right now with an over and an under hook. So, you know, that means he's trying to find out where this guy is at. You know, and the wrestler that has the inside control is the wrestler that's normally the offensive wrestler. So, you know, I like to see him be a little bit more under control right now with his over and under, and not stand up so straight.
There it is. A nice little throw.
Nice
right to his back.
If he settles
back. See if he can finish early.
Right here, he's just got to keep grinding him forward,
Yep.
keep that shoulder.
Putting good pressure on his chest. keep walking towards the head.
Walk towards the head. Get those legs out there. See if he gets that back leg forward, he's going to be in some really good position to get this pin. There's
Nice
the half.
adjustment to the half.
Oh, yeah. Now he sinks that half in. Now he's got to keep him from going out of bounds. Drag him back over his hips like he did right there and lock it up and just pick up on the head. This is a done match.
Yep.
This is a done match.
That was excellent wrestling we just witnessed by Devin Edwards.
Very nice, Devin.
Very impressive for a freshman, first year on varsity. To win in that fashion is very, very impressive.
Fall in the first period, and it wasn't 2 minutes or a minute and a half at all. It was closer to the minute mark. Good stuff. And that's got to be a great feeling for him. I mean,
yeah.
To come out here, and normally when you're in the finals, you have a very, very tough competitor. Not taking anything away from the Bay wrestler, but Devin just took it to another level. He went out and he took control of this match, and that's what young wrestlers need to understand. He's got 4 more years, or excuse me, this year and 3 more years to come back and to continue to do the same thing and get better and train and work on technique and things like that. We'll see him down.
We're going to see a lot of good things from him.
Oh, yeah. Very impressive.
As we wait for the next round of matches, the next weight class, we would like to inform all seniors and parents that there is going to be a financial aid night Thursday, January 24th at 6 p.m. at Lorain High School. There will be Dave Newman from College Now Greater Cleveland presenting, and the Lorain Community Foundation will also present scholarship information. Light refreshments are going to be provided, and if you have any questions about this event, you can contact your school counselor at 277-1176. That's 277-1176.
As you look out over the match, how many of these referees actually refereed some of your matches?
Man, I definitely remember a couple for sure.
I even see one that reffed a few of mine.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I got one out there.
Yeah, these refs have done a good job for a long time, and keep them coming.
They sure have. I see Mr. Tom Bauer is out there still doing it after all these years.
Yeah. Tom Bauer, who commentated with me during the Amherst match, loves the sport of wrestling. He's always been around it.
Right on. Always. There's a single leg over there. Now, how are these mats organized, Eulin? I know that, I noticed that you have all of these mats memorized. Like mat 1 is over here against the wall.
That is mat 1. Tonight on mat 1, there's going to be the 3rd and 4th place matches for the A bracket. On mat 2, which is where we just saw Devin Edwards wrestle on, those are going to be the championship matches. To our far left are going to be the 5th and 6th place matches. And you see a couple wrestlers wrestling for 5th and 6th place over there. To the back of the gymnasium, the blue mat, there is mat number 4. It's going to be the 1st place matches for the B bracket. And then in the far left corner, mat number 5 are going to be the 3rd and 4th place matches for the B bracket. So we got a lot of wrestling going on, a lot of matches, and a lot of places for these hard-working wrestlers tonight.
Okay, sounds great. You got some good eyes, buddy.
And while we wait for the next round of weight classes, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back in a couple minutes. Stay tuned at the Nationwide Holiday Classic.
I knew I was going to college, so I always worked. My friends would come into the restaurant where I was working and want me to go out, but I had to man up and say no. You can't mess around. I heard about Fredo Student Aid at church. Filling out the free application wasn't easy, but I got it done. What would I tell other kids? Just go for it, see what happens. Don't give up on college because of money. My name is Eric. I'm going to study sports medicine. I'm going to be all right.
Welcome back to the 2012 Nationwide Holiday Classic. We are getting ready to start the 113-pound weight class. We are in the finals round. So for the Lorain High Titans, we're going to have wrestling at the 113-pound weight class. Nick Cruz and his opponent will be Tepper of Bay Area.
Another Bay-Lorain matchup again, huh?
Mm-hmm. That's another tough position to be in when both wrestlers are ready to go and they're just waiting on the refs and the score tables.
Exactly. Exactly. You're like, come on, let's get it on.
You just keep looking at your opponent, ready to go to work.
Exactly. And you know what? The guy that stares you down hard, he's usually the one that's ready to go.
Oh yeah.
You know, the one that's looking away, or you know, he's got those nervous little twitches or something, and he's got to look somewhere else. That, you know, that guy kind of tends to be the one that has a target on him. So, you know, but some people do play coy.
Yep.
Some people look away and act like they're not like they're afraid, and then they come out like their house is on fire. So let's see what's going on here. Let's see who's going to win this war of attrition. One thing I really enjoy seeing is a wrestler that has a good stance. You know, he comes out and his stance is strong. He's ready to go. He's got good movement back and forth laterally. That right there tells me, the feints and stuff like that, that tells me that that guy has been practicing and is ready to actually get out there and compete. So when you see two wrestlers going back at it like that and really tricking each other and faking each other out, that's some good stuff. And there's a bang to the head, and then a quick single leg and a trip for 2 points. Now Cruz has to stop those legs from coming in. He's got to catch them at the toe or at the ankle, like he just did.
And he's working to peel him out now. So hopefully he's able to. He has 7 seconds left on the clock in this first period. Maybe able to squeeze some points out before the period's over. Unable to do so. Since this is technically a consolation match and both wrestlers have lost earlier in the tournament, the first period is only a minute.
1-2-2.
Correct. So at the start of the second period, the score is 2-0 in favor of Bay Village. And it looks like the Bay Village wrestler chooses the neutral position.
Now what Cruz needs to do is he needs to stop reaching so much at the head, because that's where he made a mistake at before. He reached up to the head, Bay wrestler popped him in the head, and then went down into a single leg. And he also has to watch out for those boots coming in, which are called the legs. Leg riding.
Oh, yeah.
There's a shuck attempt. Cruz is smart. He used the out of bounds line to his favor, and stopped that move. So that was pretty good on his part. Being smart is important.
Oh yeah, definitely. Both wrestlers showing a lot of aggression here, so it's hard to keep those wrestlers who like to move a lot in the center of the mat.
Exactly. Cruz needs to get those elbows down. Get the elbows down, keep them away. And watch out for the trip and use the out of bounds line once again to his advantage.
Yes.
That's smart wrestling right there. Let the guy tire himself out by going upper body and then go out of bounds and no points have been scored. He circles in and tries a shuck attempt, an elbow shuck that usually big guys use, but you know, over the last several years, you know, the smaller guys have taken that elbow shuck to a different level.
I know when I wrestled, I like to use the shuck, not necessarily score off of, but to set up other moves.
Exactly.
So it's a nice way to get out of the tie-up.
Right on. There's a nice little single attempt by Cruz.
He's doing a good job of holding onto the leg. Like to see him crawl into it as he's doing. Switch to a double.
He's got to get that head out to the side.
The Bay Village wrestler is doing a nice job of tying Cruz's leg. Also, he's unable to advance his position, but nice scramble going on by both wrestlers.
Potentially dangerous is called by the referee. That just means that there's a possibility that something can get tweaked, broken or torn, and the ref wants to stop it before it happens. There's that underhook by the Bay wrestler. Cruz just needs to be smart, work on his defense, and then set up his opponent. There's a shot.
And that brings us to the end of the second period. The score is still 2-0 in favor of the Bay Village wrestler. And looks like in the beginning of the second period, Cruz actually chose a neutral position, so now the Bay Village wrestler will choose the bottom position.
There's a switch attempt.
Cruz working a power half. Really needs to crank that if this is going to be effective.
And he needs to get those hips up. See the Bay wrestler trying to hop over. If he hops over, if he's able to hop over Cruz, Cruz is going to be in trouble, and he's going to actually expose his back. So what he needs to do is he needs to get his hips up because he's grinding towards his back. So he needs to get his hips up.
Or what I think might happen is Cruz hangs on. If he hangs on tight enough, the ref may call a stalemate, as he has. So nice job of hanging on, not giving any easy points up.
Now, one thing about wrestlers, we morph. We make a mistake, and then we fix it. We recognize it, and then we fix it, and then that leads to success.
Correct.
Correct. So let's see how well he does with that power half, if he keeps his hips down on the mat or if he gets them up this time.
Looks like some blood time. So as we break into the match, there's a minute 25 left in the third period. Cruz finds himself down 2 points. Sense of urgency probably kicking in.
Now explain blood time.
Well, you know, wrestling is a very physical contact sport.
Yes,
so,
it is.
You know, blood time is needed. Small injuries happen frequently, such as nosebleeds. It looks like the Bay Village wrestler has a mat burn on his knee that is bleeding a little bit. So blood time is, you can't, you know, certain people bleed different amounts. You know, you can't, and you have a certain amount of time. I believe blood time is about 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
A match. So he has 5 minutes to stop bleeding, to get things taped up, wrapped up, plugged up, whatever he needs to do. And throughout the whole match, you got 5 minutes.
So the Bay wrestler, who is actually up by 2 points, can actually lose the match if he doesn't stop bleeding.
Correct.
Wow. So there you have it. I knew that. Eulin knew that. But you know what? There are people out there watching this broadcast right now. They're scratching their head saying, what is blood time? And obviously they fixed the problem, and we're back out there with Cruz in the top position. He's down 2 points, and he's got to be careful. Hips up. Good job.
Nice adjustment. Nice spiral ride. Looks for the boots. Baby wrestler did a nice job of catching him.
He's working a half Nelson in there.
Don't want to get too high.
Now, when you get too high, that means your body has actually moved up past the bottom wrestler's head. Your chest is going past the bottom wrestler's head, and that puts the top wrestler in a bad position because all the bottom wrestler has to do is tripod up. That means get off his knees and then start to shake, and he can actually shake the top wrestler over top of him, getting 2 points or more.
As we come to another stalemate, neither wrestler finds himself in a position of no advantage. Cruz working to return.
There's a lift, and
nice
he brings
return.
it back down to the mat without locking hands. That's important because most wrestlers lock hands when they're doing that lift, and then they come down to the mat, and then their hands are still locked, and they end up giving up a point that puts them in further a debt, basically, as far as the score. So he's down 2 points with 24 seconds left, and he needs a turn. So he needs to start cranking that. And
he has that leg in deep. Now he would like to
crank
the power half.
Here it comes.
He needs to break 45 degrees. The bottom wrestler of Bayer needs to break 45 degrees.
And he's working hard, but he has 8, 7, 6, 5 seconds to go. He's potentially dangerous with 2 seconds left. It's pretty hard to score with 2 seconds from the top, but you know what? You never know.
Never know.
You never know.
I believe the ref called a full Nelson and awarded the Bay Village wrestler a penalty point, so that brings the score to 3-0. And that will be the end of the match. Nick Cruz falls in a tough third place finals match to take fourth place, which is still a huge accomplishment in this tournament.
True.
And if we move over to the fourth place mat, or mat number 4, I'm sorry, in the far back corner of the match, we see from Lorain High Michael Kopp, who was also wrestling in the 113-pound weight class this tournament as a JV wrestler. So we both have varsity wrestlers and JV wrestlers participating in this tournament. He is in the championship match of the B bracket.
Now this gives him exposure to a varsity crowd, to a varsity setting. He wrestles against varsity people. And, you know, he very easily could have had the tournament of his life and ended up in the finals
Very
as
easily.
a JV wrestler.
It happens Happened to some wrestlers that I wrestled with when I was in high school, so it's very possible.
Now what he's got to watch out for right now is a Peterson. He's got a leg hook, so he's in a pretty good position right now. He should probably start trying to work some type of three-quarter stack, Merkle, all these moves Yulin and I know for sure. Some of you out there know. But when you see it, it automatically comes to mind. We say Merkle.
Correct.
You know, describe a Merkle. Well, it takes a little bit. But
Yes. It's better if I show you.
Exactly. I can show you better than I can tell you. There's a little break in the action.
I believe that will be the end of the match there.
Okay.
From the position we're in, I'm not able to see the scoreboard. But Michael Kopp does pull the victory off. So congratulations to Michael Kopp for his championship win.
And he held on. You know, that's what it took to actually win that match possibly. And he held on, he held on, he held on for dear life, and he gets the victory. Seen a lot of good wrestling at this tournament.
We did. So as we move into the 120-pound weight class, Lorain High doesn't have a participant in the tournament at the 120-pound weight classes. So any students out there who weigh around 120 pounds, feel free to come out for the wrestling team. But in the meantime, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be back in a moment.
Dinner makes a difference. Learn more at CasaFamilyDay.org.
Welcome back to the 2012 Nationwide Holiday Classic. Coming from Lorain High School Gymnasium, wrestling on mat number 4 for the championship of the B bracket. We have freshman Brandon Bartolome from Lorain, and he is wrestling Jacob Corsino of Clearview. Brandon in on a quick takedown, so the score is 2-0.
Looks like he was going for a bar arm right there. It kind of came loose on him, but he's got it on the other side, locked in just about. Starts a spiral ride, which that's a half Nelson to one side, and then that's going, the other hand going towards the left thigh, inner part of the thigh. That move, that spiral ride, I'm sure you use that a lot.
Yeah, us wrestlers who have the long limbs use the ones where we can creep in and block stuff off. And
exactly. Unlike me with my alligator arm.
But those bring advantages too. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You just gotta know. You gotta work with what you got.
Exactly. There's a nice catch, and he's working a bar arm right there. Now he's just got to grind the wrestler forward. He's got a wrist lock with his right arm, and he's got that bar arm in there. He's stepping over, and he's trying to hook the head.
Let's see Brandon get out there and running a little more. He wants to keep his position, but
he's got to watch out that he doesn't move that arm towards, what is it, break 40 or break 90?
I believe so. Corsino with an escape. Looks like he's one of the more aggressive wrestlers.
Those are the ones that you got to be real careful with. The wrestler that runs at you.
Oh yeah.
If he runs at you and you just stop and drop, he's going to run right over your shoulder, and you're right deep into a shot. So
Brandon able to score a takedown as we come to the end of the first period, making the score 4-1 in favor of Brandon.
Nice little drag that Brandon hit right there. He defers his choice. He had the choice, and he defers to the Clearview wrestler.
Wrestler chooses the neutral position, so we'll start the second period on our feet.
Now, normally when you pick the neutral position, when it's your choice, you either don't want to go down, or you don't want to be on top, or you're just good on your feet.
Very true.
A lot of hand fighting, a lot of head pushing and pulling. Now what Brandon needs to do is he needs to relax just a little bit, because, you know, when you start swinging your arms and lifting and pushing and pulling, that's when you're making a mistake as far as reacting to what somebody else's action is. So let's see what he does here. There's a nice bang, snap down on the head, snaps him down. There's a shot, gets his legs back, nice little sprawl he does, and they go out of bounds.
Correct.
The ref did a good job keeping him off of the championship mat as well.
Because those wrestlers on the championship mat were close, and these wrestlers have done a nice job of keeping our wrestlers safe throughout the whole tournament. No injuries that I know of.
Pretty good job by the referees.
Nice job. Both wrestlers fighting for position. Brandon in on a nice double leg. Switched it off to a single. Since his head's stuck down there, we'd like to see him pop it up to on his shoulders, but there's a number of ways he can finish from his position. We'll see which way he goes for. And ref called a stalemate, neither wrestler advancing.
Be nice to see him get an angle, you know, next time on that shot, instead of staying underneath and staying parallel with the wrestler, to maybe step out a little bit, one knee up, and then get an angle and drive across. A lot of banging, a lot of pushing and pulling, a lot of, you know, banging on the head. There's a nice pop. Then he drops down to a single leg.
There's that angle you were talking about.
Scores 2 points. Well done. Now this is old school. Let's see how he uses that. Well, the period comes to an end, but he had a tight waist in.
Yep.
Now a lot of people don't use that tight waist like we used to use that tight waist. We use that tight waist to tire out a wrestler and to really put him through a little bit of a grind, so to speak.
Yeah.
So a tight
Wear
waist.
your opponent down.
Oh yeah, wearing the opponent down, using the moves, whether it's banging on the head, just the banging on the head that they're doing right now. Imagine carrying around somebody's body weight, trying to lift your body or your head up with them holding down on your head for 2 minutes, 4 minutes. So the fatigue factor starts to set in, you know, the more the banging of the head takes place. I actually, when I was in college wrestling, and I wrestled in the Midlands, I had the coach at Ohio State, actually, his name is Tom Ryan, and he was wrestling for Iowa. And he held onto my head for probably about 2.5 periods. He beat me like 5-2 or 5-3. But I was so tired after the first and second period, I didn't know what to do. So I'm definitely a fan of somebody who can latch onto the head and actually control the other wrestler, because I was actually
a victim of it.
A victim. I was going to say a dummy, but a victim.
Usually for wrestlers, that's how we learn and we evolve. Somebody does something to us, and we're like, well, I need to know how to defend that next time.
Exactly, exactly. And a nice little double leg shot, no finish by Brandon there. You know, that's one thing. When you get in that deep on a double leg and it's nice and it's we call a crispy shot, you know, when you get in that deep and it's that nice, man, you got to finish. You got to go. You got to keep the hands on the legs and penetrate and finish. You got to utilize that out of bounds line right now. Hold on. Now he's actually in a bad position right here, but the referee catches and calls a stalemate. The Clearview wrestler was reaching across, and you know, if he would have turned his hips, he could have been in a little trouble there.
Looks like the clock didn't start on time, so they're making the necessary adjustments to that. Score right now, I believe, is 7-1. About a minute to go in the third period. Score is in favor of the Titan, Brandon Bartolome.
6-1.
6-1.
We had a Southview patron in the way, but we'll give him a pass. Very defensive wrestling match going on right now.
The wrestlers go out of bounds and they restart in the middle.
You know, these two guys, it wouldn't surprise me if they've wrestled before in the past somewhere. It's almost like they know each other. They know how each other wrestle, you know.
Well, I'm sure. Both being from Lorain, Clearview being another high school in Lorain. So I'm sure they've seen each other at maybe open tournaments, middle school tournaments, maybe even tournaments this year.
For sure.
About 3 seconds left. Brandon looks to hold on to a 5-point lead to win the match. And he's able to do so. So congratulations to Brandon Bartolome with a first place finish in the B bracket at the tournament.
And those points coming out of the B bracket, they actually still help the varsity score. So that's a big thing. One thing that Dan Turnus always talks about is, yeah, we get guys in the championship, but it's the guys that come back with the thirds, the fourths, or the thirds and well, not seconds. Seconds help, you know, but
yeah, correct.
As far as the championship score, it's the guys in for third and fourth in the consolation that are actually winning. They're helping push our score up. So good job to those guys over there in the B bracket and things like that, you know, stepping up and doing what they have to do. The guys that are wrestling in the A bracket for third place, it's the same thing there. You win if you win for third place, for third and fourth, you're putting more points up on the board for your team. So it's important not just to go out here and kind of, kind of get down on yourself.
Correct.
If anything, it's time to get up and start pushing your team towards a championship, towards victory.
Correct. Now, Robert, you have a new product that you are promoting. You mind informing the viewers about that?
Oh, no problem. Yeah, the product is called Visalis. And what Visalis basically does is it helps to target to burn fat and build lean muscle. Something that's perfect for this sport. So I'm trying to introduce it into the sport of wrestling so that we can get nutrition, you know, back into our wrestlers' lives. Basically putting out, instead of somebody who is, you know, kind of struggling, you know, you have to lose weight in order to get on these mats. You have to make weight, should I say. So no matter what you do, we want to put the best and the healthiest wrestler out on the mat that we possibly can, and that's what this Visalis actually does. It's a line of product that comes in kits, and you know, we pick out a kit no matter what you want to do. It's not just for wrestlers, it's for parents, grandparents, little brothers, little sisters. It's all natural, 90 calories. The centerpiece for it is a shake called a Bi Shake. That's, like I said, 90 calories, and it has 23 vitamins and minerals in it. It basically gives you everything that you need in one shake for your daily allowance, okay?
Well, that sounds like something I'm sure a lot of people
yes,
would want to get involved in and try for themselves. If they wanted to do so, how could they get in contact with you to do so?
Well, this is the easiest way to get in touch with me. Call me. You know, at first I'm a little skeptical, but you know what? This is what needs to happen in order to move this product and get this product out to the people so that the people can actually take advantage of an all-natural 90-calorie product. So the best way to do it is to call me. My phone number is 440-984-9065. And just either send me a text message or, you know, drop me a line, say, hey, Robert, you know, I heard you on, you know, the Lorain.
Channel 20.
The Channel 20.
There it is.
You know, WLCS TV 20. And, you know, I, want to know a little bit more about it. And, you know, I'm open to talk to anybody that is willing to listen. But, you know, I would love to get this product out to people and especially to the wrestlers, because this is a sport where there has always been a lot of struggling to make weight. And now it's time to kind of make it easy. You know, change the face of wrestling, put smiles on our wrestlers so the moms aren't, you know, complaining, you know, when he's losing weight, he's just so mean. You know, let's put smiles on the face of the wrestlers. So, yeah, give me a call, 440-984-9065, or find me on Facebook, you just go to Facebook, basically, and if you got an account, and you type in VI, try, TRY, and the number 90, and DAY. And that'll pull me up right there because there's so many Robert Taylors out here in the world.
Correct.
It's a wonderful name. But, you know,
not like Yulin.
You know what? When you say Yulin, you know who they're talking about. But then again, your dad is a Yulin too.
True.
So, you know, but definitely this is an opportunity for everybody to take advantage of getting their nutrition, their health back and everything else. So, you know, I'm just proud to be a part of this company, and you know, I'm proud that I'm a part of this broadcast, to be able to, you know, be a sponsor and to be able to say, okay, this is what I have, check it out, and, you know, give me a call. So feel free, give me a call, no pressure. We could always talk about it later.
Sounds good. I'm sure you'll be getting some calls very soon.
Thank you, Yulin.
But while we have a break in the action for the Titans, we are going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back in a moment at the finals of the Nationwide Holiday Classic.
Is this really mankind? Hi, I'm Tiffany Thiessen, asking you to please check the label before you buy meat or dairy products. Look for cage-free eggs, free-range poultry, or grass-fed meat. Better yet, buy products that are American Humane certified, animal welfare approved, or certified humane. To learn more about responsible food choices you can make, visit eathumane.org. I'm not asking you to be a different person, maybe just a better one.
Welcome back to the 2012 Nationwide Holiday Classic, hosted by Lorain High School. Tonight we're going to start the 145-pound weight class, wrestling for the 145-pound weight class. In the championship match on mat number 2 from Lorain High is Eli Garcia. Eli, a senior this year, who has a strong tournament so far. He's getting after it pretty quick with a nice single leg takedown.
That was a nice finish that Eli just used right there. And he allows his opponent to get the escape, gives him 1 point so he can get back on his feet. And another quick double leg shot. Takes him up and brings him back down for 2 points. Potentially dangerous, the referee called. And Eli actually loses the point, or the ref gives his opponent a point. There's another double leg shot, which he changes into a double leg, and he does what we call running the pipe. And that's a method of finishing on a single leg.
Using the bow.
Using the bow.
And right into a tilt.
Nice little tilt, nice little roll through it.
Looks like there he is.
They used to call that the suitcase. And there's some back points.
Like to sink his hips down and get that shoulder down and apply pressure.
I mean, he's going right at his top moves. You know, I mean, he's not hesitating, and that's the good thing. He's out there to score points,
and he does so. Eli's he's a good wrestler from all positions. A lot of wrestlers they tend to favor a certain area of wrestling, whether it be bottom, top, or on their feet. But Eli's able to do it in all 3 phases of wrestling, so it's going to take him a long way.
There's a cradle attempt. He's got it locked up. He's got to free his leg. Scores 2 more back points. 2 near fall points for Garcia.
Brings the score to 9-2 as we approach the end of the first period.
Yulin, you see him working the tight waist like we talked about before, sinking that arm all the way across that waist and then just grinding his opponent to the other side, to the opposite side. Now, keeping his hips up is important right here because, and he got away with 1 there, but keeping his hips up and not getting too lax is very important right here.
Yep. As the period comes to an end, the score is still 9-2. We go into the second period. While a Worthington Kilbourne defers to Eli Garcia, and he chooses the bottom position.
Now, going down right now on the bottom position, Eli wants to actually try to get away or get a reversal as quick as possible so he can get back to his feet or get back in control on top and score more points.
Eli has a strong base.
Kind of looking for a sit out here, but he's going for a stand up.
Don't want to stay down too long.
Staying on the bottom too long is always a bad idea. There's a nice little roll through for a reversal for 2 points for Eli Garcia. And back at the tight waist.
Eli does a nice job of applying pressure on the top so that his opponent in the down position is more susceptible to different moves, such as a bar arm tilt.
And there's points being scored right there. Every time you see the ref swipe his hand like that in the air, and he gets to a count of 5, that becomes 3 back points. 3 back points called near fall points.
Correct.
Anything less than 5 swings of the hand is 2 back points after the move has been broken or ended.
Correct. And Eli right now has a 12-point lead. The score is 14-2. About 50 seconds left in the second period. Eli going for another turn, hopefully to get 3 more near falls, which will give him a technical decision victory, which is a win by 15 points or less, or 15 points or more.
And it looks like he might be in a little bit of trouble right there. Yeah, that's it. That's getting just a little bit, not that he got cocky, but just that he just relaxed just a little bit too much. Staying tight and following through with the move and finishing the move, the Kilbourne racer would have been in a little bit of trouble.
Correct.
So, now he has to work a little bit harder. He still has a 10-point lead, 15 seconds left in the second period. And what he needs to focus on right now is getting away in the next 8 or 9 seconds. See, the top man has that ankle hooked. Once the ankle's hooked, there isn't going to be too much movement going on from the bottom man. So I've actually seen referees call stalling when that ankle's hooked like that, if it's hooked for so long.
So as we start the third period, Eli Garcia in the top position with a 10-point lead, 14-4, over Wall of Worthington Kilbourne. Again, he has that nice, tight, deep waist in, which is able to tilt his opponent off of.
Now he needs to get his chest away, hips in, chest away, so the same thing doesn't happen again.
Correct. Interesting decision by the Worthington Kilbourne wrestler to go down. Eli has done a nice job on his on the top. Even though he did get reversed once, he did score a lot of points from the position as well.
Yes, he did. And he just scored 2 more.
There
now he's got a cradle locked up. Let's see how he finishes the cradle. That's trouble.
Yeah. Oh, that's not a good position to be in.
Now he has to fight.
That is not a good position to be in.
He has to have a fight right here. And he has to watch out. And a match that was going well in Eli's favor.
Yes.
This is wrestling. It happens.
Anything is possible.
It happens a lot. And you know what? All it takes sometimes is one move. You go to the well one time too many.
Correct.
And that can happen. Remember we talked earlier about wrestlers learning from their mistakes.
Yes.
And this wrestler continued to learn, and Eli continued to go to the well.
Yes, I guarantee you, I know the first thing his coaches are going to tell him, when you have that cradle, you want to go hip to hip and sit it back. I know a lot of wrestlers we see roll across their back. Sometimes it works, but a lot of times you're going to get a good opponent and knows how to stop it. But Eli showed a lot of good moves and a lot of good wrestling in that match. Just one mistake cost him the match.
He sure did, and you know what? He should have his head up right now because he was, maybe 3 points away from a technical fall, and he was actually going for it. So in the finals, to be able to be that close to getting a technical fall against a quality opponent, he has nothing to hang his head for.
Correct. And you know what? I'm sure those wrestlers will probably see each other again, and I think Eli's going to have some revenge for that wrestler.
State championships are down in Columbus. So Kilbourne is in Columbus. So I'm pretty sure that, they will see each other again. Correct. If not in the tournament before the state championships.
Before we start the 152-pound weight class, I would like to inform all 10th graders and parents that there's going to be an urgent 10th grade meeting held on January 15th at 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. in the Lorain High School cafeteria. This meeting is for all 10th grade students and their parents. It is important Ohio graduation testing information to be provided. And we all know that these students must pass all 5 parts of the Ohio graduation test to graduate from high school and receive their high school diploma. So this is a very important meeting that is going to benefit your child's future and high school graduation goals. And food and refreshments will be served. As we get back to the action at 152 pounds from Lorain High, we have Blake Binyard wrestling for 3rd and 4th against Foster of Clearview. Foster able to score a takedown. which brings the score to 2-0 with about 30 seconds left in the first period. Blake's arm is caught, so he has to work to get that arm free. Doesn't want to give any back points.
He's exposed now, and the ref is actually counting back points against. He has to be very careful here in this position because, I mean, he's probably got about 2 inches.
Yeah, we got 5 seconds left. He needs to hold on. Keep that shoulder up. And there it is. He makes it to the second period.
1 minute first period in the consolation, so that definitely worked in his favor. But he did a great job not giving up. That's one thing about the sport. These guys go out here day in and day out, and they don't give up. They don't quit. And that's a wonderful thing. It's a life's lesson.
So as we start the second period, the score is 5-0. It is, I believe, it was Foster of Clearview's choice, and he chooses the down position. And he scores an escape.
Very quick escape by Foster. Just looking at these two out here, they're both pretty quick. They're both pretty powerful individuals. Earlier in the match, when Foster got the initial takedown, you could see the strength that he had when he picked up the Lorain High kid, when he took him up in the air. So, you know, there's power, strength, speed. There's
all the ingredients for a good wrestling match.
Exactly, all the ingredients for a good wrestling match right out there on that mat. So let's see what happens. Let's see who holds out and pulls out the victory. In situations like this is where length comes in handy. So
nice scramble by these wrestlers. Both working hard for finding an advantage on the opponent.
And Blake is actually starting to use his length to his advantage. So, you know, this is going to be very interesting. That right there was a mistake. I think he just got caught off guard. Quick shoe shot, which we used to call it, but a low single. Just caught him off guard. That was one of those situations where the length was not on his side because he has so far and his legs are so long that, you know, somebody shooting that low and that fast worked against him.
As they go out of bounds with 11 seconds left in the second period, Blake finds himself with an 8-point deficit. The score is 8-0.
Now, at what point, Eulin, should he start not going for desperation moves, but should he start getting a lot more aggressive and physical? He's down 8-0.
At the beginning of the match.
At the beginning of the match is a great time to be that way. But, you know, at third period, 8-0, it's time not to
pick the intensity up.
Pick it up. Yep. Maybe not go for broke right now. Maybe not, you know, put yourself deeper in the hole point score-wise. But now is the time to start getting active. Now is the time to start using that length. And here you go with a shot. Maybe a little setup, maybe a little snap down, maybe a little physicality right now. He comes up upper body with him, with Blake. Foster goes upper body with Blake. Blake, okay, I'm ready to go. Counter, correct. And let's go from here. And as we learned from that last match, doesn't matter how many points you're up by, the finished product is what matters. So, you know, Blake is still in this match, even though he's down 8-0. He's got, what, a minute and 20 to go, and he has to go ahead and prove what he can do. But Foster is not taking his foot off the gas pedal. He's keeping the pressure coming. He's taking the shots. So this is a very good match.
Blake almost taken down there, but the wrestlers did go out of bounds before the takedown, so no points awarded. About a minute left to go in this third period, minute 10.
One thing that I've always noticed about some of the wrestlers, they like to grab the wrist. They love to grab that wrist.
And there's a lot of offense you can work from either grabbing the opponent's wrist or even letting him grab your wrist. I know duck unders are open that a lot of people don't like to hit, but high crotches. So it can work to your advantage, but it depends on the other wrestler's style. It could also work to your disadvantage.
It sure can. It just depends on what you know and who's showing it to you sometimes.
Correct. As they go out of bounds, Foster scores another takedown, bringing the score to 10-0 with 35 seconds left to go in the third period.
And Foster looks really good. I mean, he's out there, and you can tell that his coaches learned from somebody who was really good.
Very true.
He loves to take you up and bring you down. That shows his power, that he's still doing that in the third period with 20 seconds left, still picking up his opponent and bringing him down.
Yep.
Now with 14 seconds left, we need to get an escape here, and we need to go, then desperation needs to set in.
Correct. Headlocks, throws.
Lateral drops, yes, definitely throws.
But that'll do it for the match. Blake Binyard paused in a tough-fought match to Foster of Clearview, but finishes with a 4th place finish at the tournament. So very commendable, and he worked hard to get there.
Yeah, he did a wonderful job. I mean, the score really doesn't dictate what really went on in the match. There were a few mistakes here and there, but, you know, fix those mistakes. Go to practice, work on them, fix them, and then change the whole outlook of the match, the next match, or your season. So, you know, one thing I definitely want to, you know, let the wrestlers know is that they need to, you know, not get down about certain matches, like Eli's match. Don't get down about that. Continue to work hard, get better, and learn from it.
Correct. While we have a break into action, all you sports fans out there, we want you to know that high school wrestling is back. And with the excitement, Lorain High Wrestling, there is always a match to watch. So we want to make sure you turn to Channel 20, WLCS TV 20, and watch them all. Win, lose, or draw, our kids give their best. Lorain School Employees Credit Union supports our schools, and their address is 4459 Oberlin Avenue in Lorain. So we want to thank the Lorain School Employees Credit Union for all their work and their sponsorship, and for all the hardworking individuals, everybody involved in the wrestling team and in this tournament to put it together. They've done a great job these past 2 days. And there's a break in the action for the Titans, so we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back.
They've stormed beaches and freed countries. They've raised our flag and our hope. They've been called leathernecks. They've been called devil dogs. But above all, they're called Marines.
Welcome back to the 2012 Nationwide Holiday Classic, coming to you from Lorain High Gymnasium. We're entering the 170-pound weight class, wrestling for 3rd and 4th. We have Luther Washington of Lorain, and his opponent is Latanzio of Beaver Local.
Luther has that stance, that square stance that, you know, it kind of denotes a little bit of defense right off the beginning. In order to get your offense really going, you got to go into a sugarfoot stance, which just means one foot
in front
of the other, lurched out a little bit forward. So once he's ready to start the action, he's ready to get offensive, then you're gonna notice that foot. There it goes, right there. That denotes, and the reaching and the popping of the head. There's action.
Nice fireman.
Nice little fireman's.
He's so quick. He took what the wrestler gave him. Wrestler gave him an underhook, so he use the firemen to take him down. Kicked the wrestler with about 6 seconds left. I don't think he was aware of how much time was on the clock.
No, I don't think he was either.
So then that brings the score to 2-1 as we go into the second period.
We're having a little technical difficulty with the clock. Sometimes, you know, a wrestler that's not used to being in that position, that might be used to being in the finals sometimes, or, you know, he doesn't realize that that first period in consolation is only 1 minute. So, I mean, that could have been a situation with Luther.
Very possible.
Let's see how he works on fixing it.
Luther's opponent chose the bottom position to start the second period, but Luther electing to wrestle on his feet. We see that is probably where he is at his strongest. So he kicked his opponent, said he would start neutral, giving him his opponent 1 point, making the score 2-2.
Now, when you kick an opponent, what happens with that?
Basically, what
you kick him?
I don't think that's legal, Rob.
Exactly.
But what that means is you tell the ref you rather wrestle on your feet. You're going to allow your opponent to escape. You're not going to try and hold him down to the mat. So
giving him the 1 point escape. So he's going to do it again.
Yep, as Luther just did.
Luther just kicks out his opponent, giving him 1 point. Let's go back on our feet.
Making the score 4-3 now. With about a minute left to go in the second period.
And he likes using that snap down. That snap down is basically right now, it's a setup. It's to move his opponent, get him in a position where he can take advantage, where he has an angle. Snap down. Luther is a very powerful wrestler too.
He is.
Powerful, quick.
Short. He's shorter for his weight class, so he's more compact and he's able to explode, and he's very powerful, which a lot of the wrestlers at the weight class aren't used to seeing.
Exactly. He's using that quickness to his advantage a lot of the times. And that's very indicative of someone who can go down pretty easily as far as going down to the next weight class.
Got in on a single but unable to finish as the wrestlers go out of bounds. There's now 10 seconds left in the second period. As we start the third period, it is Lorain's choice, and they choose neutral. So the wrestler's gonna go back to their feet and wrestle again. Luther leading the match by 1 point with a score of 4-3.
Luther must feel very, very comfortable on his feet right now that that his opponent can't take him down. So, you know, you take the top position, and this guy has 1 minute and 36 seconds to prove that he can. Luther has
nice crossface. Good leg defense by Luther. Wrestlers go back to the middle to restart.
Now what Luther needs to do right now is probably, if he's not going to turn up the offense, then he needs to let his opponent come to him. In doing that, it means that the clock is still ticking, you know, and you're not going to make as many mistakes because you're not trying to actually engage him. Now, not telling Luther, stall, but just saying be smart enough to realize you're winning by 1 point. This guy has to come after you. You don't have to go after him.
Want to try and circle, not back up.
Exactly. Backing up, and backing up will cause the referee to call you for stalling or being passive. Wrestling is a sport where engaging is something that is
you always
urged.
have to wrestle with the intent to score.
Exactly. Luther needs to move a little bit more, stop looking at the clock, and pay more attention to what's going on in his mat because there's 4 or 5 more whistles going off. He almost got caught off guard right there. So let's see how he reacts to settling in there realizing that he's got a half a minute left to go. Little action, little fireman attempt. That's not a shot. He's got to be careful coming up. Maybe a short drag, maybe a circle in bounds. 10 seconds left. He gets called for stalling.
Well, that's an interesting call considering he just took a shot. Looks like they didn't start the clock on time or started too early.
Now, what Luther wants to realize right now is that he doesn't have to take a shot. With 5 seconds left, does not have to take a shot whatsoever. All he has to do is circle the mat, stay in that circle, and circle right or circle left, and the match is basically his as long as he doesn't get taken down in 5 seconds.
Right.
Good square stance and stay in the center of the mat. Backing up one step will cause the referees to see it as passive and call him for stalling, which will actually tie the match up. So this is where a wrestler needs to be very, very smart. He needs to have his mind intact. In a lot of cases, when you're tired, the last thing you're doing properly is thinking.
Correct. Well, they fixed this clock. There was only 5 seconds left on the clock now, and that'll do it for the period and the match. And Luther able to hold on to a 1-point victory and finish the tournament in 3rd place.
Nice job on nice job grappling there. And he would have had just a little bit more cushion in that first period if he didn't take the guy down and let him go.
Correct.
So, you know, like I said before, knowing where you're at, knowing what time it is on the clock, and having mat awareness is so important. And I'm sure the coaches will speak with him and say, hey, man, you know, you could have won by 2. You know, so.
Very true, very true. So to our viewers out there, are you employed by or retired from the Lorain City Schools? If the answer is yes, then pay close attention to the following. Hey, wrestling fans, low interest rates got you pinned to the mat? Reverse that hold and counter the competition with the CD from the Lorain School Employees Credit Union. Escape with a higher appy and pin down the CD of your choice. Call LSECU at 282-4600. That's 282-4600, and we will make you a winner.
We pretty much have a packed house here.
We do.
At Lorain High School today.
And I believe we're going to have a break in the Titan action. So while we do so, we're going to take a quick commercial break and stay tuned and be back in just a few at the 2012 Nationwide Holiday Classic.
Hi, I'm Rochelle Lefebvre, and this is Johnny. We're working with Best Friends Animal Society to stop the suffering of millions of breeding dogs in puppy mills who supply puppies to pet stores. You can help too, by not adding to the demand for pet store puppies. When searching for your next best friend, do what I did. Adopt. Don't shop. Let a shelter dog like Johnny steal your heart.
Welcome back to the 2012 Nationwide Holiday Classic from Lorain High Gymnasium. We're just finishing up the 182-pound weight class, so we're getting ready to start the 195-pound weight class. Wrestling for the Titans at this weight class for 5th and 6th place. We have Devin Resinger of Lorain, who's a junior, and he is wrestling Cal Meyer of St. Paul, who is also a junior. Resinger in on a nice double leg. Good defense by the St. Paul wrestler. Good scramble by both wrestlers. No points awarded, and they head back to the center of the mat. Wrestlers doing a good job of filling each other out.
Now, when you get into higher weight classes, we talked about this before, sometimes you don't see the shots and things like that, the double legs, the single legs, but we just seen a nice, decent quality double leg. Lacked a little bit of penetration, but, you know, he took that shot. And to me, that's something, when you find a wrestler like this wrestler who adds a couple setups, some movement, and then takes that shot, he's going to catch a lot of people off balance.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to catch them off guard, and he's going to score a bunch of points.
And we come to an end of the first period. Score is still 0-0. St. Paul wrestler chooses to go down. A lot of times we see teams elect not to defer the choice of their opponent because they want to get that first point score, which can come back to to their advantage in overtime.
Exactly.
If the match happens to go to a double overtime, then they have the first choice in what they want to do in that period.
And there's the 1-point escape. It's a very physical match so far. A lot of banging and pushing and pulling. Here's another shot.
Just trying to keep him in the middle of the mat.
Right there, it would have been a nice time to do the run the pole.
Very true.
Run the pole right there. You're close to the out of bounds line. You just change it up and reverse it and go the other way. And the wrestler would have fell in bounds. There's
Nice,
a short drag attempt.
Correct.
When we were in high school, that short drag, or that drag, was called a
high mom.
High mom. That's how we learned it. Dan Turnus, Dan and Tommy Turnus, and Peppy, they all showed us the high mom.
The high mom arm drag.
Wave to your mom in the stand, say hi, mom. I was just showing that to a youngster today that came to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he came to my facility, and we did a little training, and I got an opportunity to show him the high mom. So good stuff. Stays with us forever. There's a double leg. Suck it up. Suck it up. A lot of pushing and pulling.
One thing that he'll add on to his game that may be beneficial, he gets in on the legs, people start to jack him up. He still has lazy control. Maybe if he steps and trips,
yes,
that moment will help him to score. It's something that you don't see too much in the upper weight classes, but you don't really see too many shot attempts as Devin's shooting either.
Exactly. Or turning the corner is also good. Changing the direction, starting it going towards the wrestler, and then stepping that far foot out, that left foot up, and going to the right. Taking the wrestler in an L shape, kind of stops him from losing his advantage. It's all about making it easier and quicker and more efficient for you to score.
Right. As we start the third period, Devin Resinger finds himself down 1 point. He elects to go into the down position, but looks like he got caught in a bar arm.
Got caught in a bar arm. It was close. The official could have actually called a chicken wing, an illegal chicken wing on that, because the arm actually started, from the top wrestler, actually started to go up towards the head. But it was close.
St. Paul wrestler was awarded 3 back points, bringing the score to 4-0. With about a minute and a half left to go in this third and final period.
Got a short timeout going on. I don't know if it's a blood time or if it's...
Ref seen something on the mat, not sure what it was.
With the red mats, everything could be a drop of sweat. It looks a little bit like blood, possibly. He's going to be on it, so...
Must have been some sweat.
Good job by the referee.
Nice stand-up by Resinger.
Very quick stand-up. Now he catches the leg, but he stayed on the leg and he kept his head down.
Yeah.
He needed to take that leg and elevate that leg up to the sky. It would have put the St. Paul wrestler in jeopardy as far as exposing his back. And it's the little things. I mean, as far as, you know, one thing that I like to do, and I'm sure you've noticed it, is, you know, I critique the wrestler as they go. You know, and it's an opportunity to also be able to look back on maybe this broadcast and say, oh, this is what happened. This is what I could have done. How do I do that?
Correct.
You know, so being in this position right now is not a good, you can't get a good critique from right here.
Yeah. The St. Paul wrestler utilized another bar arm attempt to turn Resinger.
But he's so close to the out of bounds line. And normally
rolls through, get his 1-point escape, possibly.
It's 3 back points.
Ref awarded it to him.
1 escape.
Brings the score to 7-1 now. There's 30 seconds left in the period.
There's a tap and go.
Nice double.
To the double, but no finish. You got to finish that move. You get that deep.
He gets in that deep. You have to be able to finish.
And it's a nice shot.
It is a very nice shot.
It's a shot that he's definitely going to be able to use to his advantage. And he's going to score once he starts utilizing his finishing.
Exactly. That does it for the 195-pound weight class. Devin Resinger finishing in 6th place this tournament. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll bring you, when we come back, we'll have heavyweight action in the finals. So until then, stay tuned.
Is that thing getting closer? Look how high that thing's going. Look out there, look at the debris.
Give me the camera.
No, just drive, I've got it.
Zoom in, zoom in.
I can't believe this is happening.
Oh, the size of that thing.
It's everywhere.
Are you getting this?
Yeah, I've got it. What was that?
It's the National Guard.
How'd they get here so fast?
I don't know.
Pull over. Pull over.
Do you have what it takes to head into the heart of the storm? Check out NationalGuard.com.
Welcome back to the 2012 Nationwide Holiday Classic in Lorain High Gymnasium. We're wrapping things up with the heavyweight championship match. The Lorain High Titans are done for the evening, with Adam Breeze finishing 3rd or 4th place tonight at the heavyweight weight class. The Titans looked very strong to this tournament.
Sure did.
Had a lot of wins. Congratulations to Devin Edwards, the 105-pounder, with finishing 1st place.
That was
bringing
awesome
home
match.
the gold as a freshman again.
Wonderful.
Very impressive, very impressive. And all the Titans did a great job. Lorain High showed a lot of skilled wrestling, showed they've been working hard. Also showed some things they need to improve on, which I'm sure they will do as the season goes on.
Right.
This tournament, again, was very competitive. Thank you for joining me.
You're welcome, Yulin. I appreciate you guys having me here.
And I thank everybody for tuning in. Again, my name is Yulin Ralston. This is Robert Taylor. And hopefully everybody has a good night.
This has been a production of Lorain City Schools, TV 20 WLCS.
To purchase a high-quality copy of the program you just viewed, please call Lorain City Schools Television at 282-8400.